Why is it that when we look at Electro or Venom, we laugh, but when we look at Doc Ock, we cry? It's not an accident. It's a formula. The worst villains are goofy obstacles. The best villains are personal tragedies. And today, we're fixing the worst by revealing the secret rule Sony keeps breaking. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at Spider-Man movies the same way again. Let's start with the villains that make us want to turn off the TV. And trust me, there's a pattern here that Hollywood refuses to learn. Jamie Foxx's Electro in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This should have been a slam dunk. Oscar-winning actor, visually striking powers, massive potential. Instead, we got the most cringe villain in Spider-Man history.
It's my birthday. Now it's time for me to light my candles.
His entire villain arc starts because Spider-Man forgot his name. That's it.
How could you forget me?
Oh, I do. I know it. Don't tell me.
It's Max.
It's a Max?
That's the motivation. A grown man becomes a city-destroying monster because someone didn't remember him at a party? It's not tragic, it's petty. And don't get me started on the dubstep soundtrack. Every time Electro shows up, it sounds like a rave broke out in Times Square. He's glowing blue like a Smurf having an identity crisis. The problem, Electro is just a video game boss. He shoots lightning, Spider-Man dodges, repeat until credits roll. There's no emotional connection to Peter Parker. He just wants attention, like a toddler throwing a tantrum. No Way Home completely fixed Electro. Same actor, same powers, but suddenly he's cool. What changed? First, they ditched the blue skin and the comb-over. Jamie Foxx looks like himself now, not a rejected Avatar character. Second, they gave him swagger. Listen to how he talks in No Way Home. He's confident, threatening, even charming. This proves that Jamie Foxx was never the problem. The actor is fantastic. The problem was the design and direction. They made him look ridiculous and gave him ridiculous motivations.
You ain't even the no more. Save myself. Turn up!
In No Way Home, Electro feels dangerous. He's not whining about birthdays or forgotten names. He's a man who tasted power and refuses to give it up. That's a real motivation we can understand. The lesson? When you remove the goofy elements and focus on the human core, even the most hated villain can become compelling. This is the formula in action. Paul Giamatti is a fantastic actor. He's been nominated for Oscars. But here, he's a cartoon character who escaped from Saturday morning TV.
Never!
I crush so I kill you! I destroy you!
We waited the entire movie for this fight. The marketing promised an epic showdown. What did we get? 30 seconds of a man in a robot suit yelling with a ridiculous accent before the credits rolled. If your villain is just a guy in a suit screaming, nobody cares. Period. Venom should be terrifying. In the comics, he's Spider-Man's darkest nightmare made flesh. But Topher Grace's Eddie Brock? He's just a jerk in a black costume. The symbiote made Peter cool instead of scary. We got finger guns and jazz dancing instead of psychological horror. When your alien parasite makes the hero more cringe than threatening, you've missed the point entirely.
Sam Raimi never wanted Venom in Spider-Man 3. The director, who gave us the perfect Green Goblin and Doc Ock, had zero interest in the symbiote. He wanted to use Vulture as the main villain. But producer Avi Arad forced Venom into the movie. Why? Toy sales, merchandising. The studio saw dollar signs and demanded the most marketable villain, regardless of story. Raimi has openly admitted he didn't understand Venom. He didn't connect with the character. And when a director doesn't believe in their villain, it shows on screen. This explains everything. Venom feels disconnected from the emotional core of the trilogy because he literally was disconnected. He wasn't part of Raimi's vision. He was corporate interference wearing a black suit. Look at the difference. When Raimi films Goblin or Doc Ock, every shot has purpose. The camera loves these characters. But with Venom, the direction feels obligatory, like Raimi is checking boxes on a studio mandate. The tragedy of Spider-Man 3's Venom isn't that Topher Grace was miscast. It's that the character was doomed from the start by studio politics. You can't force a villain into a story and expect it to work emotionally. Here's what they all share. They annoy Spider-Man, but they don't hurt Peter Parker's heart. They're obstacles, not nightmares. And that's why we hate them. Now, let's talk about the villains that made us fall in love with Spider-Man movies. The ones that prove when you get it right, magic happens. The Vulture should have failed. A Birdman? Really? But Michael Keaton turned him into the most terrifying villain in the MCU. And here's why. He's not trying to take over the world. He's not summoning aliens or opening portals. He's trying to feed his family. That makes him dangerous because he's desperate. Let me break down the car scene for you. This is filmmaking at its finest. Peter gets in the car, normal teenage awkwardness. Then Keaton starts talking. Watch his eyes in the rearview mirror. The way the traffic light changes from red to green. The silence between his words. The scariest moment in the entire MCU isn't an explosion or a monster. It's Michael Keaton smiling in a rearview mirror while driving a teenager to a school dance. Why does this work? Because it attacks Peter's secret identity, not his strength. Vulture doesn't care about Spider-Man's web slinging. He cares about Peter Parker lying to his daughter. This isn't a comic book threat. This is a father protecting his family from what he sees as a threat. We understand him. We might even agree with him. And that's what makes him terrifying. Otto Octavius is a good man. That's the tragedy. Peter looks up to him. He sees his future in Otto, a brilliant scientist making the world better. Then everything goes wrong. Watch Alfred Molina's performance here. The mechanical arms aren't just weapons. They're characters themselves, whispering in his ear, corrupting his mind. Listen to how he says this line. My dream is dead.
My dream is dead.
There's genuine pain there. This isn't a man who chose evil. This is a man who lost everything and let grief consume him. The train fight is incredible, but it's not why we love Doc Ock. We love him because of what happens after. Peter wins by talking, not punching. I will not die a monster.
I will not die a monster.
Otto remembers who he was. He chooses to save the city, even if it kills him. We love Doc Ock because we wanted him to be saved. And in the end, he saves himself.
Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin breaks every rule and somehow becomes the greatest Spider-Man villain ever made. He should be hateable. He wears a Power Rangers mask. He cackles like a cartoon villain. He spins around on a glider that looks like it came from a toy store. But he's also Norman Osborn, the father Peter never had, the successful businessman Peter admires, the man who could have been his mentor. Now let me break down why Dafoe's performance is a masterclass in physical acting. Watch this mirror scene. Dafoe is talking to himself, but you believe there are two people in that room. The good man fighting the monster inside his own head. Look at his face. Really look at it. Dafoe can switch from Norman to Goblin just by changing his smile. As Norman, his smile is warm, fatherly, trustworthy. As Goblin, that same smile becomes predatory, unhinged, terrifying. It's the same mouth, the same teeth, but completely different characters. That's not CGI or makeup, that's pure acting skill. Even with the mask on in the 2002 movie, Dafoe's body language sells the character. Watch how he moves on the glider. Norman Osborn is controlled, precise. Green Goblin is loose, unpredictable, almost dancing with violence. In the Thanksgiving scene, watch Dafoe's eyes. He's Norman, but you can see Goblin lurking underneath. There's this moment where his expression flickers, just for a split second, and Peter is in danger. 20 years later, he comes back in No Way Home, and here's where it gets really interesting. They smash his mask almost immediately. Without the mask, Dafoe is somehow even more terrifying. Every wrinkle, every micro-expression, every slight head tilt becomes a weapon. He doesn't need the costume anymore. His face is the Green Goblin. Look at this apartment fight. Dafoe is 66 years old, but he moves like a man possessed. The way he tilts his head when he's about to strike. The way his smile widens when he's enjoying Peter's pain. His eyes are the key. They're not crazy, they're calculating. Goblin isn't insane, he's evil. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he loves every second of it. When he kills Aunt May, watch his face. There's no remorse, no hesitation, just pure satisfaction. He's not killing her because he has to. He's killing her because he wants to hurt Peter. The final fight is brutal, but it's Dafoe's performance that makes it work. Every punch Peter throws, Goblin just laughs. He's not just physically tough, he's psychologically unbreakable. This is what separates great villains from good ones. Anyone can put on a costume and threaten the hero, but it takes a master actor to make you believe that evil is real, that it's sitting across from you at dinner, that it's wearing the face of someone you trust. Willem Dafoe doesn't just play the Green Goblin, he becomes him. And that's why 20 years later, he's still the greatest Spider-Man villain ever put on screen. Here's the secret formula Hollywood keeps missing. Hated villains are physical obstacles. They're in Spider-Man's way. They shoot lightning, they charge with horns, they wear black suits and make threats. Loved villains are personal nightmares. They attack Peter Parker's heart. They threaten his family, corrupt his mentors, or become the father figure he never had. Electro wants attention. Vulture wants to protect his family.
Nothing is more important than family. You saved my daughter's life, and I could never forget something like that, so I'm going to give you one chance.
Rhino wants to smash things.
Never!
I crush so I kill you. I destroy you.
You want me to come down there so you can kill me?
Yes!
Doc Ock wants to complete his life's work.
Nanowires feed directly into my cerebellum, allowing me to use these arms to control fusion reaction.
Topher Grace Venom wants revenge.
I like being bad. It makes me happy.
Willem Dafoe Goblin wants to corrupt Peter's soul.
You are the one that killed her.
This isn't just about old movies. Look at the recent successes. No Way Home worked because it brought back the personal nightmares. Doc Ock, Goblin, and yes, even a redeemed Electro. The MCU Spider-Man movies work when they make it personal. Vulture threatens Peter's girlfriend. Mysterio destroys Peter's secret identity. The villains that stick with us are the ones that hurt Peter Parker, not just Spider-Man. The ones we forget, they're just Tuesday for Spider-Man. Another bad guy to web up and leave for the police. So here's the real test for any Spider-Man villain. Do they make Peter Parker's life worse, or do they just make Spider-Man's job harder? The best villains don't just threaten New York City. They threaten Peter's relationships, his moral code, his sense of self. They force him to choose between being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker. The worst villains? They're just Tuesday for Spider-Man. Another bad guy to web up and leave for the police. The secret formula isn't really a secret. It's been there since the first Spider-Man comic. The best villains are the ones that attack the man behind the mask. Sony and Marvel have proven they can get this right.
Vulture, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, these villains work because they understand that Peter Parker is more interesting than Spider-Man. The question is, will they remember this lesson for future movies, or will we get more glowing blue Smurfs with daddy issues?